On the 1st of July, we ran our first Facebook ads workshop in the Sunshine Coast. And it was so much fun to be able to meet other entrepreneurs, business owners who wanted to learn more about using Facebook ads for their marketing. The workshop went for almost 3 hours, so there's a lot of content that we went through. I wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who came along to our first workshop. It was really fun to walk through things with everyone, and I'm hoping that they got some value. Just in case you forgot anything, this video is for you. I'm going to try to cut it up so that it's not so long. And I noticed that the video cut out at some point on the GoPro. Who would have thought GoPros couldn't record for a full 3 hours before dying? So future note, make sure it's plugged in, I guess. But there's still tons of content in here that I hope you'll find helpful. And if you do have any questions, what I encourage you to do is book in a free online consultation with myself, and we can go through any questions that you have and talk about your marketing goals and how to get your Facebook ads performing for you. So with all that said, please do enjoy the workshop recording from our first Facebook ads workshop, and all the best with your marketing. So, as a bunch of business owners or entrepreneurs, we're all at different stages in our journey. I think that, hello, how's it going?
Hey.
Welcome.
Great.
Perfect timing. I think we're all at different stages in our journey, but Facebook ads is going to be, I think, a really good thing no matter where you're at. It's good to get new clients. It's good to build your brand awareness. So we're going to go through a lot today. I'm recording. You might be able to see that there's cameras and stuff. So I'll send you a recording after this as well, just so that you've got that there. In case you didn't write down notes or you said, what the hell did he say about this thing? You've got it there so that you can refer back to it. So don't stress if you don't take furious notes today. We're going to go through a lot, but I'm hoping that'll be packed full of value. I run a business called Social Geeks Digital Agency. I've been running businesses since I was a teenager. I love entrepreneurship, and I also love digital marketing. So I guess the one thing that I'm hoping to learn today is who we've got in the room and all these exciting businesses in Caloundra and the surrounds. I'm excited to meet you all and see how we can help. So I'll pass over to the lovely...
Thanks. I'm Jen. I'm got a business called I have a few businesses. I make shoes and earrings out of leather and other fun stuff. And my objective today is to learn more about and earn money online.
Nice. Yeah, earn money. That's a good objective. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jen. Over to the lovely Tara.
Thank you. Like Kyle said, I'm Tara. My business is called Maple Small Business Solutions, but I just want Maple easier. I'm a tax agent and accountant, but I do things a little bit differently. So I do bookkeeping, I do accounting, but mostly I teach businesses how to do better and how to use their financial reporting to make more money and have more clarity.
Perfect.
I'm Lucy. My business is actually a side gig called She Sings, which is a little singing event. And I'm really keen, I guess, to just grow my audience, grow that brand awareness, sell more tickets to my events, essentially, and
nice.
To represent myself better in the digital space.
Fantastic. Awesome, Lucy. Thank you.
I am Heather. I have a business in town, 10 edition. I've had it for 23 years.
Wow.
And I've been working my Facebook for a long time and doing ads and things, but I'm on an old one.
Yeah.
And a lot changes. I've been doing these for a lot of years, and now I'm like, I'm not getting much money now.
Yeah.
And I want to know what's changed.
Sure.
And also working on the e-commerce side that I'm learning to do that in the future.
Awesome. Thanks, Heather. Awesome. Over to you, Gay.
Hi, my name is Gay. I'm a bit like you. I've been in business the whole of my life.
Nice.
Various businesses. I now work with a few softwares like Unleashed and Salesforce, and I implement processes and procedures.
Oh, nice.
Mainly manufacturing companies.
Okay.
But I also do bookkeeping and that sort of stuff.
Busy.
I've embarked on this thing that once upon a time, as a business person, I used to have that attitude. I had people to do that, to do the marketing side, to do all this sort of stuff. But now I'm at that stage in life where I'm learning.
Nice.
So,
Good on you. Good on you. Fantastic.
My name's Gina, and the business name, which is yet to be created.
Work in progress, yeah.
Very early stages. It's not
Awesome.
A business yet.
Yep.
I'm
Exciting.
actually going to buy the business name and domain today.
Oh, exciting. Very exciting.
School, Tusk and Trout.
Yep.
And I'm just assisting my daughter
Fantastic.
to develop that a female adventure apparel brand.
Amazing.
Fishing, camping.
Oh wow.
Perfect location for that, eh? Like Queensland, yeah. Nice, Trina. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing.
My name's Karen. I'm a leadership coach and behaviour profiler.
Okay.
My background is in nursing, so business is kind of new. I've been navigating that world for the last couple of years.
Nice.
Learned a lot along the way, but also business is kind of slow. The aim is to let go of paid employment and be fully in business.
Okay.
So anything I can learn to speed that process up, I'm
Nice.
keen to learn.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. And the last but not least.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah. I've created an online health and wellness directory. It's a national platform, so I'm very interested to have a chat to yourself. Basically, as part of that process, I'm looking for further exposure and also the ads process as well. So I don't know how to do that, and I've already been fighting with systems and having Karen has heard. She's been very lovely. She may have actually sent me this and said, "Don't go to your Monday networking event. You have to come here." So I am here.
Fantastic. Well, I'm hoping that we can help resolve some of your system issues. Let's see how we go.
Something guaranteed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm very happy to be here.
Well, guys, it's a pleasure to have you all here, and I'm really excited to go through Facebook ads because we've been doing it a long time, probably about 10 years. We've been running Facebook ads ever since they started allowing you to pay money to get seen on the platform. It's changed a lot, it really has. And even now, there's a new algorithm update that's coming. The coffees, thank goodness. Did you get a coffee or? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear. Well, good on you for making it. That's very impressive. Thank you, Jane. Thank you. Yeah. Well, that sounds like quite a process.
Thank you. So one black. Do one black to the. Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah.
So I know that Facebook's changed a lot, and even now there's like a new update that's come out called Andromeda, and it's their new AI algorithm. They're focusing even more on creatives rather than audience targeting or any kind of the like ad hacks that we used to kind of go into too much. So there's a lot of changes is the point of the story.
What's the name of that algorithm?
It's Andromeda. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but yeah, I know, right? Yeah, but it's like Google, Facebook. They're always doing updates, always keeping you on your toes, and even people who were quote unquote experts are still having to learn all the time. So it really is quite a dizzying world to kind of navigate. But the real key thing that I'd stress is that all ads come down to this: having a good product or service, a good offer that brings people in the door, and then getting in front of the people who are interested or should be interested in what you have to offer. So if you know who that person is and you know how to craft a good offer, your ads should help sell your products, right? It's just, you can't put, what's the saying? You can't polish a turd, right? So it's a bit harsh, but you need to make sure that you're focusing on product, service, and the offer as well. So I think that's a really key thing. Now, before we start, I can see everybody's got their laptops out and ready to go. What we're going to be navigating through is the Meta Business Suite, or formerly known as Business Manager. Again, I don't know why they change names on us, but that's the way that they do these things. So the easiest way to get there, guys, is to type in business.facebook.com. I know that most of us are good to go, but I just wanted to make sure that we're ready and ready to roll there. Now, just a show of hands, and I don't mean to put you guys on the spot, but how many of you have a website? Yep, okay, great. How many people have a website with a Facebook pixel installed? Yep, okay, so we can... Yep, cool. We're going to talk about this later, don't worry, but I just wanted to see, where we're at when we start. We'll go through your website as well if we have enough time. So we've got 2 hours for the workshop, and we've got another hour after that for kind of Q&A and going through things. So I'm trying to make sure you get a bit of extra value at the end so I can go through and help set up the things that maybe you're like, how do I do that? The pixel is probably the most technical part of your advertising. And we'll talk about what that is in a second. So business.facebook.com, and of course there's pen, paper here if you want to jot down ideas. Feel free to record as well for the people who came on time. Everybody else was early. I'm recording today's session as well, so you'll get a full recording of the session, just so that if you're like me and you like to be in the moment and you forget to take notes all the time, you'll have a copy to refer back to. So don't stress, we'll pass that on and you'll be able to copy that down. All right. So I think a good place to start is when you're running Facebook ads, there is some things that you're going to need to have. The first thing is, and this is a kind of no-brainer, but you need a Facebook page. If you want to run Facebook ads, you need to have a Facebook page in order to advertise. And it is good to have Instagram as well, because if you're going to be running ads and you're going to be boosting posts or using your posts, that content will be visible through your ads campaigns, and it builds up your engagement, builds up your likes, the shares, comments, things like that. And it means that the posts that you are sharing on Instagram, you can use as ads. And that just boosts the way that you look to the general public, because the organic followers that you have will also see, wow, they've got 10,000 views on this video. Well, you advertise for it, you got those views through advertising, but it's a great way to grow your organic reach as well, because people see that and they go, oh, this must be a really good video. The other thing that we recommend is a website pixel. Now, all a pixel is, guys, is a bit of code that you install on wherever you're sending your traffic. So your website would be a good example. An Eventbrite page would be another example. You guys all bought your tickets to Eventbrite, so we ran ads. We put the pixel onto our Eventbrite page, and we're able to track how many people clicked on our ads, how many people went to the Eventbrite page, and then how many people bought tickets through the campaigns that we ran. So that's what the pixel's there for, just to tell you how your ads are performing and the results on your website, on your whatever page, your mobile app if you have one. So you can kind of install that on a whole bunch of different stuff. Another one good for you, Heather, actually, would be you can also use pixels to track what they call offline events. So these could be purchases in a physical store. You can upload that into Facebook and say, how many of these people came from my ads? And you can see any new customers that have come through. It's not 100% accurate. I find that sometimes it's a bit hit and miss. So it kind of needs like the email address, the phone number, whatever information you've got. But it's really, really helpful to kind of go through that. So the pixel is important. And I'd say for me, even if you're not running ads, install it, because it is one of those tools that if you have it on there 6 months before you run ads, Facebook's got all this data based on who your website visitors are, your customers, people who bought through your website. All of that's going to be really helpful for a Facebook system to be able to target more effectively. Now, an ad account. This is the third thing that you're going to need, which is kind of a no-brainer as well, but you need somewhere to set up your ads and link up your payments and be able to pay for your wonderful advertising. So those are the three major things. And I know there's a few e-commerce stores in here as well. So the fourth thing that I would say that's kind of an optional thing to have for businesses that aren't selling products, but for people selling e-commerce, this is like you have to set this up because it's so beneficial, is a commerce account. And what this means, if you have products on your website, it's connecting to your website and it's uploading your products in real time. You can do it every hour, every day. You kind of choose how often it's being pushed from your website. And it's telling Facebook, here are our products. Here's how many we have in stock. Here's the price. Here's the images. And when you're running ads, you can even show your products. You can have carousels, videos, and a whole bunch more. So really beneficial to have. And there's a lot of different ways you can set that up for services, directories, and a whole bunch more as well. So if you were running ads, Sarah, you might be able to list, some of your clientele, the people on the directory. You might be able to run ads in local areas if you wanted to and show their listings. So there's some cool stuff you can do with Commerce Manager. It's, it takes a bit of configuration, but for platforms like Shopify, if anybody uses Shopify, Shopify's so easy to connect now. It's literally, before you had to hard code everything and you had to create third-party apps and it was a nightmare. Now it's literally just you install the Facebook app, connect to my Facebook page, show my products, and it's done in 5 clicks. Like, it's very, very easy to do. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, we don't talk about that because that's your job to deal with. So it could be a nightmare for your accountant, but yeah, for us, it's a game changer. It's really, really good. So these are kind of the 3 to 4 things that you should have when you're starting to run your ads. And even if you can get it done beforehand, it's not a bad thing to do. So how many of us have got all 3 of the essentials done? Show of hands. So we got one person. Yep. Awesome. Cool. Well, we're going to go through this today, guys. So I'm going to hopefully help, because the pixel is the hardest one. Like, that is the one that everyone comes to us and goes, oh, I don't know. And then we have to use our tools to check and go yes or no. And then if it's no, we have to go through and set it up for our clients. So we definitely have a lot of experience doing that. How about ad accounts? Does everybody have an ad account where they've set up? Yep, cool. If not, again, very easy to set up. We can do it in.
Halfway through it, because
Perfect.
of the pixel
Mhm.
and then the conversion API.
Yeah, the conversion API is a bit of a.
Something is going on.
Okay.
Sorry, I have a question.
Shoot.
Kyle, do I have all three of those? You know better than me.
You do. Yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just a full disclosure, Tara is one of our clients, and we've helped her set up her ads, and she does some very successful similar workshops for her business in this room. And this is what inspired me to do this, actually. I was like, wow, these are doing really well. Tara's doing something good here. I should probably try it. So thank you, Tara. So we'll go through these today, guys. And don't worry, like I'm going to try to make it really hands-on, and we'll walk through it. So we're going to start with an intro into Business Suite, because this is basically the control room of your business in terms of Facebook. Facebook ads, posting content, looking at products. You can set up shops on your Instagram. Everything is run through here. And to be honest, even for me and Jamie, it's still pretty daunting when you go in here, because there's constantly new things that are going into this all the time, and sometimes taken out as well, which is really frustrating. They used to have amazing analytics, and then they just removed it. And we were like, why would you get rid of that? That was such a great tool. So in here, this is kind of the place that we would say, if you're going to run ads, this is where you want to get familiar and more comfortable with. So I know that everyone's in the Business Suite now. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. Do you have it open as well? Perfect. Awesome. So it should look something like this. You should be able to see on the left-hand side a vertical menu. You should be able to see a bit of a summary page, and this is kind of like to-dos. So this is unread comments, unread messages, and you might even see Facebook trying to upsell you to run some ads. Like they're always going to push you to do ads. Same as Google, they're pushy buggers, so just disregard that. But this is what it should look like. So on the left-hand side, we've got the menu here, and these are the areas that we're going to talk about today. Because at the end of the day, whenever you're setting up ads, it's always going to live in Ads Manager. That is the place that you can go and check on your campaigns. You can create new ads as well, and that is where you can see performance of how things are going. So we're going to talk about like what you want to look at a later stage, but you're going to be looking at how many people have seen my ads, how many people have I reached, how many people have clicked on my ads, and how many people are clicking through as a percentage, because that will tell you if you've got good creatives or if you're targeting the right audience.
Did you say how many people are stealing?
Oh, no, seeing, yeah. Yeah. I'll try to pronunciate. Yeah.
Just one thing you may go through a little bit later, but it'd be really interesting to get a bit of an understanding of what are the kind of stats or the percentages.
Perfect. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the workshop so far. I wanted to interject really quickly and link to another video on our YouTube channel where I go into great depth on the different terms that you should know as a small business when it comes to advertising online. If you want to learn more about the terms like ROAS, CTR, CPC, all of these little abbreviations that are total jargon in our industry, click on that link, watch that video later, and you'll learn all about those terms. Thanks so much for watching. Back to the workshop.
You can look at that and be like, okay, I don't actually know if that's good.
100%, yeah.
You will probably.
So it's a really good question, and I think we've actually gone through this just recently in terms of what are the numbers that you want to look at and why are they important, right? So we'll cover off that a bit later. I've saved it to the end, so hopefully that's not going to be too long to wait. But I figured reporting, we'll go through all the basics as much as I can, and then at the end we'll go, how do we actually track if it's doing well or not? And for most of us, we're going to have like 1 to 3 key metrics that we're going to want to measure. For for e-commerce, it's generally how many sales am I getting and what's the return on ad spend. So for every dollar I put in, how many dollars am I taking out in sales? Those are some pretty key metrics that you look at. For workshops, obviously, sales and ROAS as well would probably be a good one. But for service-based businesses, your objectives might change. You might say, look, I'm not necessarily looking at getting conversion straight off the bat. I'm looking at brand awareness. I'm looking at traffic. I'm looking at generating leads. So there's a lot of different objectives that we'll talk about later, and then how to track if you're doing well or not is always good. There are some really good benchmarks out there as well. A lot of publications, they put out like annual benchmarks of what's good. Believe it or not, a good click-through rate from somebody seeing your ad to clicking to your website on Facebook is 0.9%. That's the benchmark. So I always say to clients, all you need is less than 1% of people to click on your ad, and then out of that, less than 1% of people to buy, and you can have a successful campaign. So it's pretty scary or pretty crazy. Like the tiny little fraction you need, you know? I find it crazy anyways. So this section, I'm gonna run through and do like an on-screen tutorial and walk through this a little bit more. But essentially, what we're gonna wanna do first is look at what we need to kind of set up to get ads running. So I know that we've all got this open. I guess I just wanna make sure that everyone does actually have Meta Business Suite, because yeah, okay, easy. Well, you guys are doing great. I was worried that there'd be at least one person who'd be like, I don't know what this is, can we get this set up? Because it can be a bit tricky if you don't have that. All right, so one thing that I wanted to talk about, and this kind of ties into what we just covered, is how do we track results? How do we know that Facebook ads are doing well or not? So this is where the Facebook pixel comes into play, because oftentimes people aren't buying or signing up on a Facebook ad. They're being directed somewhere, and that's where we want to make sure that we're measuring what's going on. So without that, I always say you're kind of flying in the dark or driving in the dark. You have no idea. You got a question?
Yeah, I've connected a booking system to
Cool.
my Facebook.
Yep.
Is that what you're talking about? Like it'll tell me things that could go through to that? Like
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
and it's just made my bookings go up crazy.
perfect. Yeah.
But yeah, is it? I can see that because I don't.
You can,
know really.
you can, yeah. So the great thing about the Facebook Pixel is that because it's like the most dominant advertising platform in the world, most platforms like Fresha, WordPress, Shopify, and I'm going to say millions more, they all integrate with Facebook. So they'll all have a section in the settings where you should be able to install your tracking pixel, the Facebook Pixel. So in Fresha, there's literally just it's as easy as there's a Facebook Pixel number, and that's it. It's just an ID number. You should be able to copy and paste that into the settings of Fresha and say, here's my pixel, and then it will track all the bookings that are coming through and send that back to Facebook ads. So if you're running ads, we want to be tracking how many bookings you're getting, right? So we'll cover that in the Q&A if that's cool. Yeah, awesome.
My Facebook pixel is on Eventbrite.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. So for Tara and I, we both run workshops. Well, I'm new. She's been doing this. She's a bit of a veteran. So what we've done is we've taken our Facebook pixels in the settings of Eventbrite, just like in Fresha. There's a place where you can say, track my ads, and it goes Facebook, and then you copy and paste in the pixel number, and that's literally it. Like, it's not too complicated because they try to make it as easy as possible for you to get started. So Eventbrite, that tracks all the page views to your event page. That tracks people adding to cart, and then it also tracks purchases and the purchase value. Because what we want to know is, with the ads, how many people bought tickets, and what was the ROI, or the ROAS, the return on ad spend, that we made for every dollar spent. So that's what the pixel does, and this is why we want to make sure this is connected to wherever you're sending your traffic. If you don't, you're driving in the dark, and you may as well just be giving money to Mark Zuckerberg, and we don't want to do that. So that's really important.
Just a quick question too. So if you're not sending them to your website because you've got a funnel elsewhere, so MailerLite, just a landing page,
Yep, cool.
put that on there as well.
You should be able to, yeah. So MailerLite, MailChimp, Go High Level, they all have ways that you can install the same pixel onto different platforms. So you don't generally want to have more than one pixel, but you would install that same pixel across any different platforms. There's some tools that, even though this has been around for a decade, they still don't have it. And I pull my hair out whenever I'm like, why don't you have this now? Like, you're one of the biggest, OpenTable. I don't know if you guys use OpenTable for restaurants. We've got a few cafes that we advertise for. They still don't do Facebook pixel tracking. And I'm like, why, guys? Come on. Like, you're one of the biggest platforms out there for restaurants and cafes. It's just frustrating. So anyways, well, what we're going to do now, guys, we're going to have a look at your pixels. And this is, if you don't have one, that's fine. We're going to get one set up. And then later on, I'm going to help you guys get it set up. But you're in the Business Manager dashboard. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the little hamburger icon on the menu at the bottom. So in fact, what I'll do is I'll share my screen as well. So it should be in all tools. So the instructions, all tools, and then Event Manager. And if you don't have a pixel, we'll talk about this in a second. So I'll come and help you guys as well. Let me see if I can come around and go one by one. All right, perfect. Yep, so you've got the Event Manager there. So that's basically, you've got two different accounts showing, which is not necessarily a problem, but it means that your website may have two on the website. So the weird thing is that you've got two different numbers, but my guess is that one, which might be this one here, is properly connected and tracking more than the other one. So if we click on that,
I think we're all talking. There's a few people on the same screen.
Okay, perfect.
Create a new data set.
All right, so let me see if I can quickly open this up, guys. What I was hoping I could do is really quickly make my screen the same. All right. Is that okay? Is that better? All right. So you guys can see my screen okay? I'm just trying to make this a bit bigger for you guys to navigate as well. That's jumbo sized. So we're going to go to the event manager. So is everyone here? All right, perfect. So anybody who's got a connect a new data set, this means that you probably don't have a pixel, which is totally fine. We're going to go through and we're going to set one up for you guys as well. And then we're going to talk at the end how we can connect this to your website or to your app. Now, I know, Drina, you were saying that you've got a startup. Are you looking to launch it on Shopify, or do you have a platform? Okay, perfect. Have you got the login for that today, or we can always do it later? Okay, cool.
No.
Well, hopefully we can connect afterwards and we can kind of go through it. Once you have the website up and running, we can kind of go through it. But for today, we're just going to set up the pixel, and I'll explain how you can kind of connect it as well. So how about yourself, Gay?
So when I click on this,
Mhm.
it takes them through saying I'm
Oh,
switching.
okay. Well, try clicking continue. The thing is, guys, as well, if you have more than one Facebook page, it could be that you have multiple businesses, right? So the one thing that's super fun about Facebook is it's going to swap you from account to account
Yeah, it does.
every bloody time, and it's. But the problem is when
I'm in
you,
the right place now.
you are, yep.
Yeah,
So
okay, all right.
so
I was too scared.
yeah, no worries, no worries. So essentially, in here, you can see that you've got your personal account in there. What we'd probably want to do is we'd want to see if we can connect to your business account or to your business page. But what we're going to do today is we'll just kind of see if we can connect data, and we can start looking to set something up. So this is the pixel that you've got there. And if we click on this, what it's going to show us is some of the analytics. And this is showing now all of the traffic that you've gotten over the last 30 days, roughly speaking, last 28 days.
I did an ad Sunday night.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so you've seen a big spike in traffic, and you've seen, if we scroll down, you can see page views and you can see purchases there. So you've already got ticket sales, which is pretty cool.
I got 4 out of 8 seats booked.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Hours.
So it's saying that there's 3 there, but it might be that one came through today and it's only showing yesterday.
It might be that they
So
went straight to Eventbrite.
True.
Through my post.
Gotcha. Yeah. Awesome. All right, guys. So I've just circled the room, and it looks like a lot of us are, for the first time, setting up a pixel, which is totally fine. I'm going to try to walk us through this. So essentially, when we're trying to set up a new pixel, it's important that we're setting it up under our business name. You're going to use that one pixel for everything related to that business. So you don't need more than one. If you have like a booking system, you've got a ticketing page, you've got a website, you've got all these different things, you can just use the one tracking code, and that's tied to the business. It's very hard to delete or remove that once you've set it up. So having one just simplifies your life a lot. If you have more than one, it's not a problem. We've discovered that we might have 2 for your business, but again, that's not the end of the world. Well, I think if you have 2, sometimes it's like somebody's gone in and connected another one, and then you're kind of like, oh well, you're double tracking really. The good news is your ad account can only ever be connected to one pixel. So you can choose if you have more than one. Let's say you want a campaign and you're going to, for whatever reason, use a different pixel. You can do that, but just to make your lives easier, just have the one. It's going to save you a lot of headaches in the long run. So if you are one of the people who it's saying, create a new data set, what I'm going to ask you to do, and I'm just going to sit on your shoulder if that's okay, I'm going to ask you to essentially name the pixel or the data set, the name of your business. I always name it as name a business pixel, just to make sure that I know what it is.
Where do we go from here?
Okay.
Go to next.
Yeah, perfect. So you're actually a step ahead because you've already got a pixel. So all right. So this one here, what we're going to need to do is we're actually going to need to create a new business account because right now, can you see how it's got your name?
And
what we want to do is
my name.
what we want to do is we want to create a new business portfolio. So if you can choose to fill out whichever business you want to run through in today's session. All right, and how are you going?
Could I do the
Tuscan
same?
Yeah, you
So
could. I think you might all have already done it, to be honest, but let's double
It's
check.
under a different
And
name.
just say,
Ah.
I don't know.
But I can go back and change that later.
You definitely should be able to, but you're absolutely right. It looks like,
Yeah.
so we've got a business
Yeah.
portfolio that's been set up, and you can change the name of that.
Yeah,
So
okay.
essentially the way that it works is you'll have a personal account, which is the one you use for Facebook,
Sure.
and then you have a business portfolio, which is set up for the business. And the reason that Facebook tries to get you to do that is if you ever add agencies or staff members, you can add them in without giving them the keys to the kingdom. You're essentially just saying, I just want you to have access to my Facebook page, you know? So it's kind of just protecting your business a bit more. So you have got a business portfolio set up, and that's fine. So we can rename it, and we can go through and do that. So if we do connect data, this is where we're going to be going through and doing the next step. So everyone's all good. So you've gotten the business portfolio. So what we'll do is we'll click create, and we'll go to the next stage. Now, does everyone have their website or anything open there that we can go through next? Because what we're going to try to do is they should have like a partner integration. So if you're on WordPress, you're on Shopify, it should give you some instructions on how to connect that.
So you bring that up as well.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
I'll bring Fresher up. Is that what you mean?
if we can, we'll give it a crack, because yours is saying set up with a partner integration.
We go next.
Let's try it. Click next. It's going to be different for everyone. Everyone's on a different thing, which is crazy.
Can I ask like a general question?
Mhm.
Because I was getting so confused with the fact that we're setting up a pixel, but it's under data sets.
Aha, good question. So they're kind of rebranding at the moment, guys. And what I'm going to do, just to make it a bit easier, I'm going to share it on my screen. And I'm thinking juggling around 8 screens might be a bit hard. So I'm going to try to do it here if that's cool. But essentially, data sets are the way that they've rebranded the pixel. And it's allowing everything to be in one place. So we talked before about offline events. Like if you have an in-store sale, or you do a workshop like this and you're selling physical tickets, if you take the sales data, you have their name, their email address, phone number, the value of the purchase and things like that, you can upload it to your data set, and you can say, Facebook, here are some people who bought from me. Can you match this and see if there was any ads that I ran that might have been, especially for events, if you're selling tickets, if you can get that data from point of sale systems or anything like that, you can actually upload it into the Facebook data set, and then say, here are my offline sales. Please try to match these to my ads. So they're going through kind of an amalgamation where before they had offline events and they had the pixel. Now it's a data set, and you can do both in one place. So that's the rebranding. Old school people like me, we still call it the Facebook pixel. And I swear you can still find it in here, but it's one of those things where they are trying to rebrand and trying to go through that. So I'm going to try to look into one of these and show you how we would set this up. So this is our data set, or Facebook pixel. And you can see that we've had, how many of you are seeing this screen? I know that we've got a few. No? Data source, okay. So if you do have a pixel, you should be able to see kind of a bit of a graph that's showing you.
Why mine went spike that day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so if you're setting one up from scratch, you probably won't see anything, because this is for people who have the pixel installed and they have data coming in. So what I'm going to quickly run through is just explain to you guys how this all works. So essentially, I've got a pixel that's installed on our website. It's also on our Eventbrite page, so we're tracking sales data through there. And we can see things like traffic, all the events that have been recorded through here. If I scroll down, it's got the ID of the pixel. So this is where, for Fresha or other systems, you can copy that number, and in the settings, you should be able to paste that number when they ask for a pixel ID number. So this is the number that you can copy and paste. Now, you can also see manage integrations. So if I click on this, what it's telling me is that there's currently a website that's being used, or a metapixel, and there's other integrations that we can actually run with this. But I find that the metapixel is still like the best way to kind of do it. And then the conversion API is relatively new, to be honest, but it's basically trying to get more conversion data directly from the server, and kind of getting ready for when they were supposed to get rid of cookies altogether, and they've kind of backtracked it, but they were saying, if we can't track it this way, then we need to kind of have a behind the scenes connection into your website's database and do it that way. So Conversions API, there's an automatic way of connecting that to some platforms, but not all platforms. So Shopify is a good example of one that connects through an API. And if you can do it that way, definitely do it that way, because it gives you much more of an accurate idea of how many sales you've gotten and what people are doing on your website. But the old school marketers like me, we still use the metapixel. And the metapixel is the way that we can kind of install that tracking code onto websites. And we can, if we want to, we can install this on a new website or a new tool as well. So I'm just going to run through this setup process for people who might be ready to go. I'm just going to go and just do a quick lap of the room. So you're all good.
Yeah.
You've got everything set up and connected. So you don't need to do anything. This is basically telling you the websites that you're connected to. And then if you scroll down, I'm sorry, it's not a touch screen, but you should be able to see all the different events that it's able to track. So that's looking pretty good. We'll talk about that in a second.
And the website.
And the websites as well. You got 16 somehow. I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, perfect. And yours is looking good. So what you're seeing there is the events. So that's page views and purchases. So you can get multiple events, but we'll talk about that in a second.
I'm set up.
Perfect.
You did it.
Yeah, you're all set up, so you did great. Whatever you did, it's working. So
I think I'm up to this.
you're up to the right stage. So what's your website built on? Do you know?
It's a WordPress.
WordPress, perfect. Okay, so we've got WordPress and WooCommerce, which are both WordPress options. We'll go through it in a second, though, Lucy. So, all right, perfect. So for 10, it looks like it's zoomed in. Oh, there we are. Perfect. All right, perfect. So we're going to continue with pixel setup, and this is where we're going to go through next. So this is what you're seeing on the screen here. I'm going to click connect, and then you're up to the same step as me.
Cool.
Now we're going to try to get that integrated into your website. We'll see how we go, guys. I'm starting with the hardest first. Now, how are we going, Gay?
Yes.
Yeah, we made it. We made it. All right. So you've done well. You've got the business account set up, correct?
Yeah.
Perfect. Good job. Yep, that's exactly right. So the next thing we're going to go to is we're going to go into the events manager, and this is where we're going to do the report tracking. So
Maybe I need to have a new web.
I figured there'd be somebody who might not have the business manager, so I'm glad that we got there. It's a bit of a headache, but all right, perfect. And I bet you it's kept us in muck off, so that's good. So I don't know why, but Facebook will always, when you go from one page to another, it might swap profiles. So you always have to double check and just make sure that you're still logged into the right one. So that's what I'm trying to check there, but it looks like it's all good. So what we're going to do is we're going to click connect data. We're going to go website. And what it's going to hopefully say is, okay, let's create a new data set. So I'll get you to name your data set as muck off, pixel, or whatever you want to call it. And then we'll click next or create. How are we going, Drina? Perfect. Okay, yep, great. So you've done it. You've got the pixel here. So it's this guy here, yep. So that's the ID of the pixel. And then if we scroll down, so here's where we can set up the meta pixel. So this is where I'm up to. And we're going to talk about this next. So we'll just get you there.
I'm all good.
Perfect, yep, that's great. Events manager.
Yeah. And they just see what I'm all about.
Perfect. Look at that. Excellent. So if you scroll down for me, Gay, there should be a connect website events. So set up meta pixel. That's the one. Click on that for me, and you're up to where we're at. Perfect. All right, guys, we're nearly there. So set up meta pixel. Perfect. Great. All right, guys, we are up. We're all up to the same stage, so we're doing well. Thank you for bearing with me. Now, this is what we're going to be talking about for the next couple of minutes. This is how we're going to connect to your website or to your different apps. There's two ways you can do this. You can install the code manually, which I definitely don't recommend because it's very technical and it's a big headache. But if you do need to, because some platforms will not be in the partners integration, you can always reach out to me and my team. Happy to go through and help. And if you want, we can stick around at the end and do that. What I'm going to try to do is just walk you through how this works, help you get it set up. And then at the end, if we're still stuck, we can do that together. So installing code manually is really reserved for, very rare occasions. I would say that if you're one of the many people who use Shopify or WordPress, which is most of the internet these days, you want to click check for partner. So if everybody can click on that for me, and is everyone using WordPress and Shopify or no? What website are you using for your Squarespace? Okay, there should be a Squarespace integration. So you can see down here all the different websites that are covered in the setup guide. I know, right? Yeah, I know. So all of these guys are different tools that are commonly used for websites or shops or online courses, things like that, CRMs, different things like that. So if you scroll down, yeah, of course.
What does the acronym CRM stand?
Customer relationship management software, I think. Yeah. So
So that's Shopify. That's a
well, it's more like the way I explain it is like it's like your customer list or your contact list on steroids. So it's a tool where all of that data lives, all of the orders that they've ever made, all of the interactions they've ever had. If they email you, there should be like an activity feed that shows, okay, they first, went to my website, then they sent us an email, then they, we gave them a call, and it should all be tracked in a CRM. So the reason CRMs are really good is for sales and customer service, and I guess for marketing as well. So that we all are kind of handing things over to one another without going, who's this person? Can you tell me who they are? It's all in that system. So does that make sense?
Yeah. It does.
Yeah. You can do it in Shopify as well, but it's not built as a CRM. It's more of an e-commerce, like it's a website platform to help you sell products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Salesforce is one of them.
Salesforce, yep, exactly. So there's heaps of different CRMs out there, probably thousands and thousands of them, but Salesforce is a really common one, HubSpot as well, and High Level, which is one of our favorites, is a really good tool as well. So yeah, great question.
When you're choosing, you need to make sure that all the ones that you choose talk to one another. So that's really important.
Yeah.
I noticed that for high level's not in.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Theirs is a bit of because you have to use workflows for it all, and it's a pain in the butt.
Funnels and stuff.
Yeah. So the next step here, guys, is if you click on whichever website you're built on. We're built on WordPress. So I'm going to click on that. What it's going to do is it's going to explain how you can connect this to your website. And every different platform is going to be different. But for WordPress, they have a plugin that you install, and then it connects automatically. So it's basically, is this the right page? Is this the right ad account? Is this the right pixel? And it asks you to just go through and identify for people like us, we might have 80 different businesses in there. So we have to go through and just double check all the little details. For you guys, I'm hoping it should be one or two at most. And so you shouldn't get too lost. So this essentially for WordPress will walk you through step by step how to install the Facebook plugin, how to connect it to Facebook, how to verify the connection and make sure that it's working on your website. And then if you want to, it will ask you what type of events would you like to track on your website. I'm not going to go through this today. I'm just walking us through how we can go through and connect this. So for Drina, for you, the Shopify one, you should be able to click on Shopify and it will give you an explanation on how to do that. And I think it's a very nice tutorial. It gives you exactly step-by-step guides on how to do each step. So if I keep clicking next, it goes, okay, install this plugin, then click the Get Started button, then here's what you need to do, and it goes through every single step. So I think it's nice and easy to follow along and go through. Now, the big thing with this is that with the Pixel, we want to be tracking key events like we talked about before. It's very easy to get tempted to put in 25 different events because you're like, ooh, I could track all my subscribers and I can track this, but it's like, what are you really wanting to track, right? Is it sales? Is it people booking appointments? These are the things that I would start with because you don't need everything else. What you need to know what is actually driving revenue to your business. So that is the key event that I would recommend doing. So I'm not going to go through this tutorial, but before I close that, does anybody have any questions about this? This is the hardest thing, guys. So from here, it's smooth sailing, I promise. I wanted to cover off the hardest thing first, not to scare you, but to explain that once you have this set up, that's it. It's done forever, and you've basically got those events coming through and being tracked properly. Any questions at all?
Yeah.
Probably 10 questions? Yeah.
Actually, plugins doesn't actually appear on my dashboard.
Oh, okay. And this is in WordPress?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay.
So I've got the dashboard.
Ah. So what I think might be the case is it might be that you don't have the admin access to your website. So you probably need to reach out to your web person and just say, hey, I'm trying to install this. Can you please give me permission? And I always say, guys, for digital marketing, anything online, it's your business. You should own your website. You should own your hosting. You should own your accounts because, if you're giving away control to stuff like that, it just means that if that person suddenly goes, you know what, I'm shutting off your website or, whatever, you've kind of given them that power. So I'm a big advocate for you owning everything, right? That's just, and yeah, I mean, if you can learn how to do these things, that's even better. That's a great skill to have. Yeah. So we're just covering this off, and I think that we've kind of gone through the setup process. Now, this again is the most technical part, but the reason that we're focusing on this first is we want to be able to see all of the events that are happening on our website. So you can see here that we've had 5,500 people visit our website, view content. We've had apparently 4,000 people add to cart, but I don't believe that. So we've had a lot of different people coming through to the website and making purchases as well. So 29 purchases. So you can see that there's a lot of data that we're getting from our website being sent into Facebook. So if we're running ads, I know that, okay, we're getting 4,000 people. How many of those came from our ads? Okay, we can track that. And then the sales, how many of those came from our campaigns? So this is why this is a really important thing to set up. And hopefully, I know that you can't go through it all straight away, but if you do start those steps and you hit roadblocks, you can always reach out and we can help go through that as well. So any final questions about that? I noticed.
I do have a question.
Yeah, shoot.
So I clicked on purchase,
Mhm.
and it says total events 3. I don't know. Is that 3 people who bought?
So essentially, the pixel should track everything that's happening on your website.
Yeah.
And then with your ads, which we're going to set up later, it's only going to show what the ads brought in for you. So this is showing us everything on the website. This isn't just my ads. If I got 5,000 people through and 29 sales, I'd be very happy because that'd be great results. But this is everything that's happened on our website in the period that it's showing. So think of this kind of like if you've used Google Analytics or you've looked at any of these analytics dashboards. This is showing us everything that Facebook can see that's happening on your website. And that's how we know it's working. This is okay, we're getting data through, that's great. There is more technical stuff we can go through here about the quality of that and how you improve that. We're not going to touch that today. The important thing is have we installed it and is it getting data? That's the key thing to start with.
My question was about the dollar value.
Aha.
I clicked on it. So Zero Essentials Workshop, spend $3.55. Is that all that Facebook has charged me? Meta has charged me?
That should be, yeah. So again, remember that it could be, big spender, yeah. But I think if you do click on any of these, like I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but don't click on your own ads is a good. So if you click on these, it should show you specifically the data from that event, and then it should show you if there's any issues or anything that you need to kind of fix up from that. So we probably need to look through this because I set this up like 10 years ago. So I haven't really spent too much time on it, but you can go in and have a look and see how are things going? Where is it getting the data from? And there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that even we kind of go, what is this for? Like, huh? Yeah.
But you not look at this event?
Yep.
So you would have put this through Eventbrite. Can you not just look at this event?
You definitely can. So what we're going to look at later is we're going to actually look at the ads, and I'll go back into the business suite because I think that would be a good place to go. Look at all these options. Isn't that crazy? I always get so dizzy when I look at this.
Yeah, my brain just shuts down.
Yeah.
Like, that
there it is.
computer does not compute anymore. That's my brain.
I feel you. Yeah.
Your choice.
Oh, absolutely. The thing I find annoying as well, which I'm not going to try to complain this whole session, I promise, but I find that it always swaps things out. And sometimes, it's like basically, it sometimes will change from one account to another. And you're like, oh, nope, that's not what I want to look at. What we're going to look at next, though, is the ads manager. And I'm going to talk a bit more about other things in a second, but there's a lot of different things that we're going to touch on today. Where we want to look at campaigns, so this is what, Tara, you were asking, we'd look at it in the ads manager campaigns section, because this is going to show us any ads that we've run, any campaigns, and it's going to show us the metrics just for that campaign.
And it'll show me how much I've been charged today.
Yeah. And the sales that have come in from that campaign as well. So that's what we want to look at.
Well, so what defines a campaign?
So a campaign, it's a very good question. A campaign is generally one focused campaign on ads that you're running for a certain objective. And let me show you what that means. So in Facebook ads, you can have a number of different objectives that you're trying to achieve with your ads. On the right-hand side, you can see these are the 6 different objectives that you have when you're running a campaign in Facebook ads. The top one is awareness. And when you select this, you're not focused on sales, you're not focused on clicks. What Facebook's learning from you is that you just want to get as many eyeballs on your posts and on your ads as possible and not worry about anything else. And the reason that you choose the objective that you want is because Facebook's very, very smart now. It's using AI and machine learning to be able to go, if you say you want sales, we're not going to show your ads to everyone. We're going to show it to people who we think are going to buy your products. So it's really going to hone in on that type of audience based on whatever data you're sending it, right? So if you've got a pixel on your website, and let's say you have 5,000 people who've gone to your website, you've got 200 orders, Facebook can go, okay, who are those people? And what do they like? What ages are they? Where are they located? And it's got, I think, 50,000 points of data per person on the platform. And it should be able to go, okay, this is the perfect person for us to target in ads. So it's trying to spend your dollars as effectively as possible based on your objective. So these are the six objectives that you have. The one that we most commonly find people like is sales for some reason. I don't know. So sales can be not just like online sales, but it could be, you could say that, okay, well, for conversions, it's people inquiring on my website, or it's people booking through my Fresha booking system. So you can set the sale whatever you like, but you have to tell Facebook what that sale is, right? So we'll talk about how you can kind of do that later, but when you're setting up your campaign, it'll basically ask you to choose the events that we just set up with the pixel and say, what is a sale to your business? For Shopify, it's very easy because a sale is a sale.
Money in the bank.
Money in the bank, yeah, exactly. And then it might be a bit trickier for somebody who's got, like a marketplace or, hey, we're trying to, promote health and wellness experts in our area. So what would a sale be to you? We'll talk more about like what that looks like. But the reason I'm running through this is that you want to pick different objectives based on what's most important to your business. And when you first start out, everybody wants sales. Everybody wants more customers, either sales or leads coming in for their business. If you're a service-based business like Tara and I, we both run businesses where we attract clients in. Lead generation is a really good focus as well because we're trying to do, maybe it's like download our free accounting checklist for end of financial year. Okay, great. You're generating leads into your business, right? And you're giving them something in exchange. Engagement is pretty self-explanatory, but it's getting people to comment and watch and do something with your post. Again, a lot of people I find get stuck in the what I call vanity metrics of like, how many followers do I have? How many people are doing it? Doesn't matter if you're not making sales, right? So sales is definitely a good place to start for every business. I think everybody in the room could do with more sales, right? Including myself. I think sales is really good. As you grow your advertising, you can always start trying different campaigns with different objectives. So when I say what is an ad campaign, it's essentially a campaign that has one objective. You can't have more than one for a campaign, but you could have more than one campaign in your ad account. And
so could I have, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you're on that.
so polite.
Could I have two campaigns for one ad?
You absolutely can.
So I can target
Yes.
certain people in one campaign for the same workshop.
You could.
And then
So here's where it gets complicated, but I'll try to explain it how we structure it. What we look at in the marketing world when we're advertising, we have what's called a marketing funnel. So we separate this into 3 chunks: your top of funnel, your middle of funnel, and your bottom of funnel. Bottom of funnel is going to be the smallest audience, but it's the people who are ready to buy or have shown some indication that they're going to buy. So we would always focus on sales for the bottom of funnel audience. Now, without getting too advanced, we would retarget people who've gone to your website. And we would have that as a bottom of funnel campaign to say, anybody who's been to the website but hasn't bought, we're going to do a sales campaign, and we're going to have an ad there that's basically like, hey, don't miss out on this great deal. Or, hey, here's what our customers say that they love about our products. You're trying to get them across the line. And that would be a good example of like, how do we squeeze as much juice as we can from people who've gone to your website? The stage above that might be, you're still trying to get sales, but they haven't visited your website. So you're trying to drive new audiences into your website, and it could be a traffic campaign, right? So middle of funnel would be, you're trying to get people who have never shopped with you, never heard of you, to come and see your best-selling products. So it might be, your best earrings, it might be, top sellers, or it might be a sales promotion that you're running for end of financial year, Christmas in July, anything like that. You're trying to push that to drive as many people to your website as possible. And if they don't buy, then you know the retargeting campaign, that bottom of funnel sales campaign will start working its magic and try to push them across the line.
Just through the pixels or through their email?
So
They won't leave email.
So the pixel will track everyone who's gone to the website and hasn't bought. So that retargeting campaign can be set up in a way so you're saying exclude anyone who's purchased, but I want to target people who've been to my website without making a purchase. So I'm getting a bit more advanced here, but that's kind of how you can structure different objectives, just to answer your question. So bottom of funnel sales, retargeting. Middle of funnel, you can have traffic for people to your website. Top of funnel could be awareness. It could be like videos, reels, things like that. You're trying to get people to find out about you, but you might not even be ready to send them to your website. You might just focus on awareness or engagement because you're trying to get as many eyeballs on your brand. And if they click through, bonus. If they don't, the middle of funnel ads will start advertising to them and try to drive them to the website. That would be an example of like quite a complicated structure for an ad campaign. For most people, start with one campaign and start with the thing that you want, which is sales. I think if you start there and you grow and you get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm seeing some wins on the board here. Where do I go next? You can always add extra layers to your campaign.
And try and see which one's working better.
Well, yeah.
Photo or that photo.
It kind of like works together because if you have sales and then traffic, the traffic is sending you hopefully a lot of low cost traffic to your website. If you just do sales, you'll find as you start trying to spend more money with Facebook, you might find that suddenly the cost goes up quite dramatically, and you'll see certain numbers that indicate you might be hitting the same people again and again and again. You go, okay, how do I broaden out? Oftentimes it means you need to try different objectives, if that makes sense. So you have to try traffic or awareness because, again, the system is pretty smart, but it's going to lock into people that it thinks are the people who are going to buy. So if that's only 10 people out of 1,000, those 10 people might see your ad, 4 times more than everybody else. And then it gets to a point where you're kind of like, am I just spamming these 4 people? Maybe I should try broadening out a bit. It's not always like that, but I'm just trying to explain how you can layer different objectives into a campaign. For an event, I think that you would probably do awareness or traffic and try to get as many people to the event page and then have a sales campaign that's retargeting people based on who's gone to the website and not bought a ticket. That would be
2 campaigns for her, one awareness, one sales.
Yeah, there's a few different I think
At
that
the end of the day, ticket sales was
the last 2 weeks, right?
big,
Yeah.
But it's about, and I think I'm very much in that phase where you're talking about where I have a very engaged audience,
Yep.
but I need to grow that.
Yep.
So that traffic is almost
Exactly.
the bigger thing at the moment of actually trying to move people from the middle of the funnel.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So businesses that haven't launched yet,
Yep.
such as myself,
Yep.
and we don't have anything to sell, do
Yep.
they ever choose campaigns to build
Awareness.
awareness?
Yeah, oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, so a really good strategy for a new brand is generally to have like either a pre-launch strategy. So you're looking at, you could have like a landing page where it's like sign up to our VIP list and get, XYZ, or, be in touch when we do launch, and you're trying to build that up. You can also do pre-sales through Shopify. So before you even have stock, you can sell a product by making it clear that it's not stocked yet, right? So it's like a pre-sale. You're like, support the brand.
Frenzy.
It's a frenzy.
Alex Hormozy.
Oh, he's great.
Really researched him. Alex Hormozy. He actually built out fitness facilities. He's like a bazillionaire now. That he built his brand without equipment, without a really technically possibly a location. He pre-sold the hell out of his gyms before he actually had it all fitted out, ready to go.
Yeah.
The pre-sale.
That's gutsy, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
That's really gutsy. I don't know if I'm
They actually not even have products.
No,
He
had
had
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
He just had a location, possibly, because he would have had to have had the location beforehand.
Wow.
He pre-sold it before he opened, and all of that money then went
Opened
to fitting it out.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crowdfunding.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes, you can absolutely.
Yeah.
I know some.
But you have to have a visual of what you're going to say.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You need to do advertising, but I know other e-commerce businesses that didn't have anything manufactured and pre-sold with their product, and then they use that money to pay the manufacturer.
Even so,
Yeah.
they say pre-sell before you put any time into creating your content. So whether it's a masterclass or whatever, but you pre-sell it to make sure that you're not then putting effort in.
100%. Yeah.
So
Look at this. This is a great little group thing we're doing. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. I would say that you probably want to try, this would be my way of doing it. I'd probably set up a capture page that has like videos and has like some type of offer, which we'll talk about how to craft a good offer next. But you'd want to put together an offer with a capture page, so some way of them signing up and or selling products if you want to. And I'd drive traffic to there, or I'd do a lead generation campaign. So you're trying to build up your database of people who would be interested, so that when you're launching or when you get the pre-sales, you've got like a database of people who are like, yeah, I'm ready to go. Yeah, exactly. So that's one way you can do it. But there's heaps of different ways. Like, yeah, definitely check out Alex Hormozi. He's fantastic. He's got a free audiobook as well that you can download, which is pretty good.
How do you spell his last name?
H-O.
Sorry?
Just how it sounds. HORMOZI. Hormozi.
And his wife's amazing as well.
Yeah.
Like, I actually follow her more than I do him.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's a good launch.
Kyle, sorry, I have a question that relates to everyone.
yeah, shoot.
So with my Zero Essentials, I generally sell out because it's the basics and everyone goes, yep, I need the basics. The next level, which is the intermediate one, it's harder to get people to book because they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't realize what they need because they don't know it exists.
Gotcha.
So with the campaigns, could I, in the last 10 days or something, if I don't have 9 bums on seats, do another campaign? Is that the technique you would use?
Is this for changing up your offer, or is this?
No, just to drive sales and get more bums on seats. Is that not what you would do?
I don't know if I follow. So you're saying set up a new campaign to get fresh people through, or?
No.
Maybe let's
Not
go.
getting the traffic onto the current campaign, create another campaign to drive more traffic.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
If the booking.
Oh, probably should have said where the bathrooms are. Yeah. What did we say? No, this is good, Tara. I think, how about we go through that a bit more later? I think you can, if you're finding that results aren't going well, sometimes it can be Facebook's just kind of done a misfire and it's not tracking the right people properly. There can be a ton of different reasons, but you can duplicate a campaign and pause the other one and see if the new one runs better. Like what we generally do is if a campaign suddenly stops working, we put it into emergency mode and we have kind of a system that we go through to look at what we can do to turn it around. It's pretty rare that the system just completely glitches nowadays. Like, it's generally pretty good, but you can run split tests, you can try new creatives. And if that doesn't work, I would probably try a new audience just to see. It's hard when it's a local business because you're kind of like, I'm just targeting local people with Facebook pages, for example, So it's a bit harder when it's a local area to audience test. But I would say it's probably creatives and maybe an offer that you need to test out. But yeah, a simple thing to try would be duplicating the campaign and seeing if that does fix it. But yeah, it's like I said, it's pretty rare that it kind of like does just kind of like drop off suddenly,
It's just, like I said, it's just because people don't know what they don't know.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
realize they need the intermediate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So another campaign won't solve my problem.
It may not, but we can talk about it if you are noticing that in future. Like, always here for you, Tara. You know that.
Can I also, sorry, going back to kind of like the data sets, I can't remember what I did to set this up because it was a bit of a blur, to be honest.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about the events, because at the moment I don't seem to have, I had to do a manual.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So that was one aspect of it. But at the moment, all I'm seeing here is just page view.
Gotcha.
So
Okay. There is definitely a way that we can fix that. And I think that the way that I would normally do that is we'd be looking at your pixel, and you can set up events on your website.
that's what I think I was having trouble with because I had to do all of that manually.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
There is a tool that we can go through at the end, if you like, where you can do it on the front end. And it would be based on buttons or different actions that you can click. So you can go through on your website, you open it up using this tool, and it will be on your website to show you, okay, what do you want to track and what's that event? So you can then click on, like, okay, if somebody clicks on this button, then it's, add to cart. If somebody clicks on this button, then it's a purchase. And you can kind of tell it through that. So So we can go through that. We can kind of show you in the future if that's cool. But
Yeah, that's okay. I'll probably catch up with you separately.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course. All right, girls, how are we going? Everyone doing okay? Yeah, awesome. So the next thing we're going to focus on is, we talked about Alex Hormozy, which is great because this guy is the king. Him and his wife are like the king and queen of crafting good offers. So Alex Hormozy, Layla Hormozy, they are some of my favorite business mentors. So it was really quite cool that they brought it up themselves. They talk a lot about how to craft an offer. Now, the way that we craft offers, I'll wait till they come back, but we use a bunch of different styles. This is things like emotional selling. This is things like social proofing, so customer reviews, testimonials. There's a lot of different ways you can craft an offer and have your ads written in a style that's going to help you sell. And you don't have to offer discounts, right? Like that's one way of attracting in new customers. But like I said, social proofing, we find often works better than a discount. You know, a lot of people will, if you see an ad that's, 5-star reviews, 500 people love our product, you probably are going to get more interested in that than, hey, get 10% off end of your, financial sale. Like you're just like, who gives a crap? Like everybody's doing, a discount right now. So crafting an offer is really important. We want to kind of think about how do we get in front of the people who we want as customers and identify what they're struggling with. The method that I find works really well that we're going to work today together to kind of craft is we're going to use what I did for our ads. And we used a method called the PASS method. Has anybody heard of the PASS method? What's that, sorry?
Did you say pass?
PASS, yeah, P-A-S. So the PASS method is a very common way to write ads or hooks or anything like that, which is problem, align, solve. So with your customers, what are the problems that they're facing? How do you align with that problem in terms of, the workshop that we're doing today? I ran video ads, which I don't know, who saw the video ads?
Problems and you're going to solve.
Yes, exactly. And then, so the copy I wrote was very much like, do you feel like you're wasting money and time on Facebook ads? It's a problem, right? I'm not saying, hey, I'm Kyle and I'm here to talk about Facebook ads. Well, yeah, exactly. Nobody cares about me at the end of the day, right? And we need to keep it customer centric and focus on what are the problems that they're experiencing that we can help solve. So this is one of many different ways you can write ads, but I find that it works really well because it's not just, hey, buy a ticket to this workshop. It's like, hey, I understand that we're probably feeling frustrated because we don't know enough about Facebook ads, and that can be a big problem. So that is a method that we're going to work on together today. The problem, the way that you align with that, so it's kind of like, here's the problem, here's more about that problem that kind of makes you go, oh, he gets it or she gets it, right? Like they're talking my language. And then the solution, what is the offer that can help with that problem? Now, for every business, you can kind of come up with a PASS method ad, right? It's not, if you're selling clothing, again, there's problems with like, maybe it's hard to find women's apparel for fishing, right? Like you're like, well, I don't want to wear a men's fishing top, I want to have something that's more, closely aligned with me and how I feel. So you want to look at what is that problem? How do you align with that? And then how do we help solve that problem? So this is what we're going to work on now for the next little 5-minute kind of thing.
The last thing was hard.
Oh, really? You think this is hard? Oh, no. Well, look, I've got 10 other advertising styles that we often use. And I'll put this into a presentation and send it to you guys afterwards. And these are kind of like different ideas, like emotional selling, like the social proofing. You can go direct to sale. There's heaps of different kind of ways that you can go through that. I think I've actually got them here, but I'll send it through to you guys afterwards. But there's the PASS method I find works best for most businesses because you're trying to keep it customer centric. You're trying to focus on that. And I think that if we spend 5 minutes just thinking about what are problems that your customer faces with your business, it's a great way to craft an ad. So I'm going to encourage you guys, think about what is, firstly, if you don't know who your ideal customer is, let's think about that. But it's probably somebody that if you have a customer already that you're like, man, I love this person. If I could, multiply them by 1,000, I would be so happy. That's probably a good idea of your ideal customer. And we want to think about what are the problems that they face, right? What are the things that they're struggling with that you can help them solve? And it works for e-commerce. It works for, events. It's just kind of thinking a bit maybe outside the box, I guess. And I thought this would be a good way to kind of craft it. So we'll spend about 5 minutes seeing if we can craft a bit of an offer here. And again, don't have to do 10% off. It's more like looking at, for yourself, if it's like handmade jewelry and it's something that's local, that's a great problem, because it's like, are you sick of Chinese made crap falling apart as soon as you buy it? Like, that could be the problem, right? So you're trying to think about what type of angle. Does anybody have any questions? Everyone's already writing. Fantastic.
What did you say?
Yeah. My problem is Kyle keeps talking.
I understand that Carl really needs to talk to us about our situation.
I've got the solution. I'm writing my ad. Is anybody stuck? Can I help at all? Let me see if I can quickly go through this. So some other ones that you might find useful. So emotional selling is very much like trying to, I know it sounds bad, but like pull on people's heartstrings. So you're trying to go, hey, if you, like, we have a client who sells children's educational games. It's very much like, if you're scared of your child not talking to you, if they're getting bullied, or if, anything's happening, you need to teach them how to communicate and make sure that you're creating a safe space and all these different things. So it's kind of like, making sure that if you're scared of your kids getting bullied, or you're scared of your kids not being able to talk to you, you want to try to address that. And I guess, it sounds bad, but that's kind of, it works really well for them, because, the owner's a mother and she's made this product for her girls. So, she's very passionate about it. So I think for you, maybe social proofing could be another good one. So taking your customer reviews and putting those into an ad. So it could just be, okay. Well, the next one might be then, rational kind of benefit driven. Well, you don't need a lot. Like, if you just have a few that you're able to use, you can do that. Something that works well for e-commerce is like the scarcity model. So, having a limited time offer or limited products as well. Like, if you have something that's, because obviously everything handmade means that you're not making them en masse. So it could be more of like these are a limited edition. We only have so much. So get in while stock lasts, or we're doing a sale until the end of July. So you're just trying to look at how you can, with your ads, give people a sense of urgency to kind of click and buy before they miss out. You could do that. Yeah, absolutely. I think like having a timeline, like this is the time that it's going to end, or, we've only got so much stock. Those can be kind of words that do really help with e-commerce ads. So I don't know if any of these are landing at all. Just trying to see. So the PASS method, that's what we're talking about. Aspirational selling. So this is a good one for, like, a lot of people want to, they feel that they want to be buying products that are locally made, sustainable, aren't destroying the planet. So aspirational selling is like, don't be an asshole, buy local, local products that are sustainable. Like, without saying that, it's kind of like, if you aspire to be somebody who's doing good in the planet and, buying products that are responsible and sustainable, that aligns with their perception of themselves. So you're kind of trying to write an ad that would talk to that. Do any of these resonate at all? Like, in terms of, no.
Maybe.
Yeah. It is a hard one.
This is what I've been spoken.
Yeah. Well, we can definitely, I'll send this through and kind of go through it. Do you have any posts that you've done recently? Because you can also use those as ads in your campaign. To be honest, I actually find it's quite beneficial to post stuff first and then use it in your ad campaigns, because
I was looking at boosting and then I saw your ad and I thought, no, I need to do that.
Yeah, I think the ads are good because you've got a lot more control than you do when you're boosting posts. You can choose your audiences, you can split test stuff, you can create variations of ads as well. Because generally, if it doesn't work, you don't know, is it the post, is it the audience, is it the placement? So you kind of want to try to test it a little bit more and see what works.
That's a really good question that I did have as well that I forgot that I needed to know about.
Okay.
Great segment. That was an awesome question. The difference between posting, so the Facebook boosting.
Yeah, that just confused me. I've boosted all my life. I don't think I've posted that.
Oh wow! Yeah, cool.
I actually found that.
Yeah.
I thought I know what that is, and I'm like,
yeah. Oh wow! Yeah.
So that was like I was having so much trouble creating my actual campaign.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Between myself and my VA, we're like, this is just shit.
Oh no.
I'm having so much trouble. And then she'd actually said, well, why don't you boost?
Yeah.
I said, well, what's the difference between the both of us? Well, we had no idea.
Yeah, it's a good question. We'll go through that actually if you guys are happy for me to cover that off, because I want to get the offer locked in and then we're going to go through and actually build a campaign together.
okay.
But yes, boosting posts can be beneficial. Like, it's not to say that it's not a good strategy. I think that Ads Manager gives you far more control if you're running campaigns continuously. So the difference between a short-term kind of like, hey, I'm doing this event, I'm going to boost a post, versus I'm trying to sell more products on my e-commerce store, you probably run that as a campaign in Ads Manager, because it's
short-term versus long-term.
I'd say so. That'd probably be a good way of explaining it.
Yeah.
As well, if you want to try different variations of things, there's some really cool tools for split testing different, either creatives, different audiences, or different placements. And we have a testing process that I'll share with you guys later. But essentially, we would split test 3 times on one campaign. The first being audiences, the next being your offers, and then the last being kind of your creatives and your placements. So by creatives and placements, you're meaning like Facebook versus Instagram Reels, or a Facebook image versus Facebook video. So you're trying different creatives and different places to see what works best.
And so that's what you're saying, that the split testing is done via ads,
Yes.
but not by boosting.
Well, yeah, they are starting to try to bring in ads split testing into boosted posts, but it's like, well, what are you split testing? Then it takes it into Ads Manager.
Yeah.
So they're kind of I think trying to. It's the way I explain boosting posts. It's like Ads Manager light. Like, you're basically getting very limited tools there, but it can work to quickly get stuff going.
Yeah.
And again, if you're doing like a local event or a short term, you just want more eyeballs on a particular post. Yeah, boosting posts is not a bad way of doing it. Yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully that answers your question. So we've all got offers somewhat drafted. If you don't, that's totally fine. The reason I'm highlighting this is that I find that a lot of people will get into the trap of talking about themselves and being like, hey, here's my website, here's what I do, here's my qualifications, here's why I'm great. And people don't often respond well to that. Surprise, surprise. It's often that they want to know, hey, I've got this problem. Who can fix it, right? And then they're looking around, and the people who they find answering that question generally are the ones they go with. So I find that that's a really key thing to highlight. We're going to now jump into Ads Manager, and we're going to set up a campaign together. So you guys have done really well so far. Thanks for bearing with me. We've gone through the pixel, which I know was a pain in the butt, but it's good to go through, because if you don't have that set up, again, we don't know what's working. We don't know what's actually driving revenue in for the business. So that's point number 1. We talked about objectives, and is it sales versus traffic versus lead gen, all of those types of things. And we've drafted a bit of an offer. So it could be good. It could be, a work in progress, but this is just important to think about, because you don't want to spend money without doing these 3 things first. So what we're going to do next is we're going to start and going through and creating a campaign together. Now we're going to go for a simple structure. We're just going to do one campaign, and that campaign is going to be targeting your ideal customer in the ideal location, and we're going to try to have an ad or a post that you've already shared that we're going to use for this ad. You're more than welcome to craft your own ads based off what we talked about before, or you can just select a post that you have already put out there on your page. Oftentimes that works quite well. So you can try different things, and we're not going to publish this yet, guys. We're just going to save it as a draft. So don't worry, it's not going live until you guys feel good about everything. You don't want to go and I spent $1,000. How did this happen? So we're going to make sure that it's all drafted, and that's it.
Am I right to duplicate my last next level ad?
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
And just tweak it as you go?
I think let's set up a new one, Tara, if you don't mind. Like, we'll start from complete scratch, just to kind of give it a crack, just so you can go through it. So what I'm going to get you guys to do is I'll follow along on my screen as well. But if you're still in Business Manager, there should be on the left-hand side, an Ads Manager or Campaigns, if you see that. And I'll jump in there myself as well.
Into the suite.
Yep, so should still be in. Mine's moving over here again. Let me see if I can drag it over, guys. So it should be. So it should be Campaigns if you're in Ads Manager.
Can I ask chat to write it for me?
Yeah, of course. AI is your best friend.
I just got my 10 different objectives.
Yeah.
Okay.
I asked ChatGPT to give me 2 challenging questions.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Honestly, guys, AI is so good for small business owners. I think it's such a fantastic resource for creating copy, coming up with ideas, who's my ideal audience. There's so much that you can do. And I'm going to jump into my account so that I'm not in.
Which one do you use? ChatGPT?
Oh, I'm using Gemini now for for Google, but we still use ChatGPT a lot. So yeah.
That don't have an ads
Well,
account.
I don't think I do. That's why I'm setting it.
Yeah.
Oh, right. No ad account is to show.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've done it.
Oh, you have done it.
That's happened.
It could be that you're in a different profile. So did you set up?
The right one.
Yep. Okay.
It's that one.
Yeah. So you have done ads before?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you click on the settings icon for me, my guess is that it's in your personal account, and we can pull it over into your business account. So if you go to ad accounts down there, is anybody else having issues getting into?
Yeah.
Okay. No worries. So what we'll do? Yeah, everybody. All right. So what we can do here, guys. So I'm going to see if I can jump into my computer and share how this would look. All right. So if there's no accounts added, we can create an account really quickly. So the way that we do this is, you guys are already on the add account section. Oh God, Facebook. Two-factor every bloody time. So there's a section where you can add your ad account. And if I'm going to guess that yours was in your personal name, you can say add your ad account into that business. So you can kind of pull it in there so it's actually labeled to your business. I'll see if I can add an existing account, yeah. Now I'll show you where we can find your ad account in a second, so just bear with me. So I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to go through the same thing that hopefully you guys are seeing. So who doesn't have an ad account or is not seeing an ad account? Okay, great. So what I'm going to get you guys to do is, if you're in your Meta Business Suite, I'm going to get you to click on Settings for me.
How do we even get to that?
Okay, so if we go back a step, so up the hamburger icon here, we're clicking to Meta Business Suite.
Oh yeah.
And then we're going to the settings option here. So everyone clicking on settings from the Meta Business Suite. And this is kind of the control center back end of everything. Yeah, of course, of course. So is anybody seeing this screen here, the settings? Yep. All right, so we just want to make sure we're going to the add accounts section. And then if you're probably going to see you have no ad account and a plus, like an add blue button. Great. So I'll get you to click on the blue add button for me. If you don't have an ad account there, and you should see this. Let me know if you're able to get that far. Facebook.
And it's also maybe Instagram.
Oh, okay. Do you need a charger? Are you okay?
So yeah, I'm just
Right.
charging now.
Okay, perfect.
So
So you're there. Yep. Click add ad account, and then we're going to do create. So who's not run ads before and is creating a new ad account? That's yep. So everyone here, and then who has run ads but can't find it? Okay. So we got one.
Me too, but I don't know if I've just boosted
Gotcha.
posts before
Okay.
rather than actually creating.
So here's the stupid thing that frustrates me about Facebook, and it's going to be a long list, but this is one of them. When you boost posts, they create an ad account for you, but they tie it to your personal Facebook account, and it's hidden in there. So you can then pull that ad account into your business, but you have to know what the ad ID number is. So we're going to go and quickly try to find that together for you poor folk who have done it through the... No, it's easy to do. It's easy to do. Happens all the time. No. So the way that we're going to do this is, I'll start with you two, just so that we can get that going. What we'll do is we want to do add existing account, and then we need to find that account ID number. So you guys who don't have an ad account, don't worry about this. And anybody who already has access to the ad account, don't worry. This is just for these two parties where we're trying to pull it in. The way that we're going to do this is that if we go, into a new tab and go to Ads Manager, it should show us an ad account if it's tied to your personal name. So go into Ads Manager and then click on Campaigns for me.
It still comes up with it.
We'll see if no new ad accounts to show. Okay, so let's see if there's one for your personal. It's an absolute nightmare sometimes, but so if you see your name come up, oh yep, here we are. Yep. So see, we've got one ad account popping up here. So this is the account that we want to pull. So what we can do, and I don't know why they don't make it copy and pasteable, you can grab it from this link here. So that's 10855. You can see 10855. So we're going to grab that number. Don't ask me why they make it so tricky, but this is how they do it. We're going to add existing account. And now what this is going to do is pull that account that you have used in here. And that just means if you ever work with a VA, you ever work with an agency or hire staff, you can share this without sharing everything like your personal Facebook account. So that's why they kind of do it this way. Done. Awesome. So that's all locked in. So now you've got your ad account there. It's tied to those pages as well. And we're good to go. So we're on the next step. Great. All right. So let's do this. So this is the business that we're going to be using. Oh, this one? Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome. Awesome. And then we're pasting it in there. Ta-da. All right. So this is now going to live in this business profile.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I'll hardly ever use my
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. The reason we do this is I was just saying to Lucy, it's basically if you do hire a VA or an agency or a team member, you're not having to share your Facebook login. You can kind of bring them into this and say you get access to my ad account and nothing else. So it's just a bit of a safer way to share access. So that's all done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the ad account, open an ads manager, and we'll get started. Awesome. All right, guys. So just for those in the room who are setting up an ad account for the first time, I'm just going to finish off this walkthrough tutorial. Thanks for all your patience. Hasn't this been fun? Yep. Just give me a second. I'm just going to quickly show you guys. So I just want, while I'm going to help Heather, so we're going to create a new ad account for those who've never had one before. It's very important that we name it the business, we get the time zone right and the currency right, because you can't change it once you set it up. It's a pain in the butt, and you want to make sure you get it right. So, example ads. Okay, perfect. So guys, what we're going to do, if everyone can, are we in Ads Manager and good to go? And we've set up,
We just put our business name.
put your business name, time zone, and Australian dollars, click next.
Okay.
And you're for your business.
My business.
Yep, click next. And then what it's saying is you're tying this to your business account, which is going to be, we'll rename that in a second. So instead of it being, I'm assuming your daughter's name, we can just call it Tuscan Trout. So you can rename the business portfolio, that's not a problem. The important thing is you've set it up, so that's the good news. So I'll get you guys both to agree to the meta terms just below there, and then click Create Ad Account. Job done.